Working the body again, that was smart by Tate there, working the side kick. Side
In the world of mixed martial arts, the Ultimate Fighting Championship, or UFC, represents the peak of competition. It brings together the most skilled fighters in the world, each with their unique skills and background. Today, we explore a question that is on the minds of many people. What if Andrew Tate, a renowned controversial figure with a background in kickboxing, made his way into the UFC? Andrew Tate is a formidable force in the kickboxing world. He's a two-time ISKA world champion and is also a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He's a former professional kickboxer with an impressive record of 76 wins and 9 losses. He's known for his aggressive fighting style and his ability to knock out his opponents. One of Tate's first professional fights was against Scott Gibson in 2007. Gibson was a seasoned kickboxer, but Tate was able to defeat him by knockout in the 4th round. This was a defining moment in Tate's career, as it showed that he could compete with the best in the world. Tate continued his winning streak by defeating Daniel Hughes in the 1st round. This caught the attention of the kickboxing world, and Tate was soon considered one of the best light heavyweight kickboxers in the world. In 2011, Tate challenged Jean-Luc Benoit for the ISKA World Light Heavyweight Kickboxing Championship. Benoit was the defending champion, but Tate was able to knock him out in the 2nd round to become the new champion. His victory over Benoit was a major upset, and it cemented his status as one of the best kickboxers in the world. He went on to defend his title twice before retiring from kickboxing in 2020. Tate even got a Showtime 85 Max World title shot against champion Sahakaparian. The result did not favor Tate on that occasion. However, his relentless pursuit of excellence was evident despite facing challenges along the way, with how he avenged a previous loss to Vincent, faced Jean, and captured his 2nd ISKA world title. His performance in the 12-round fight was nothing short of excellence, and he emerged as the victor through a close split decision. If Tate were to make his way into the UFC, he would be a force to be reckoned with. He is a skilled trainer with a strong ground game. He'd also be a difficult opponent to deal with mentally.
Last 10 seconds of this final round. Shouting, willing himself forward, doing himself proud in this round.
However, there are some challenges that Tate would face if he were to make the transition to the UFC. The UFC is a much more demanding organization than the kickboxing world. The fighters are bigger, stronger, and more skilled. Tate would also have to adjust to the new rules of the UFC. In kickboxing, fighters are allowed to use elbows and knees. In the UFC, these techniques are not allowed. But with how this man is, it's safe to say that Andrew Tate has the potential to become a successful UFC fighter. He's a skilled and dedicated athlete. However, he would face some challenges if he were to make the transition. Only time will tell if he can overcome these challenges and reach the top of the UFC. His kickboxing career is undeniably impressive, filled with notable victories, devastating knockouts, and moments of pure determination. But how would his skills translate to the world of mixed martial arts, specifically the UFC? He certainly made a name for himself in the realm of kickboxing, with a string of notable victories and prestigious titles under his belt. His astonishing skill and knockout power have left you in awe.
And he's still standing. It's the end of the 3rd round, but what an amazing fight.
However, the UFC presents a unique challenge, a multi-dimensional battlefield where fighters must master several disciplines, including grappling and submission. So the question arises, his skill claims to be viable in the octagon. Let's break it down. Tate's kickboxing skills are undeniable. Transitioning to the UFC requires adapting to a completely new set of rules and strategies that the octagon demands. He competes in both striking and grappling and can defend against takedowns, and submissions require surprising skill. Unquestionably, his lightning-fast punches, his devastating knockout power, and his precise technique have proven to be a strength throughout his kickboxing career. However, in the UFC, he would face opponents trained in various martial arts, including Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, wrestling, and Muay Thai, a formidable challenge that goes beyond his UFC striking abilities. Fighters must possess a well-rounded skill set that includes solid grappling fundamentals. And while Tate has certainly honed his striking techniques, his grappling experience and ground game remain relatively untested in professional MMA. UFC's Tate would need to invest considerable time and effort into developing his ground game, including takedown defense, submission, and the ability to effectively control and escape from dominant mat positions. Tate would need to learn how to defend against takedowns. In kickboxing, fighters are not allowed to take their opponents to the ground. In MMA, takedowns are a common way to control and defeat an opponent, and also how to submit opponents. In kickboxing, fighters are not allowed to choke or joint lock their opponents. In MMA, submission techniques are a common way to finish a fight, as well as how to fight in the clinch. The clinch is a close-range position where fighters can grapple and strike. Tate would need to learn how to use the clinch to his advantage. Another crucial aspect to consider is the level of competition in the UFC organization. Boasting an incredibly deep talent pool with world-class fighters from around the world, the Octagon is a proving ground where even the most skilled fighters must continually evolve and adapt to remain competitive. While Tate's kickboxing career has demonstrated his ability to rise to the occasion and overcome, the challenges of entering the UFC would require him to face a new generation of opponents, a combination of shocking grappling and general MMA skills that he may not have encountered in his kickboxing journey.
I like to see Tate throw more than one punch, but a combination to get a good left hook to the body from him.
It's essential to recognize that this hypothetical scenario is a fascinating hypothetical proposal by Andrew Tate. Achievements in kickboxing are indeed worthy of praise, but competing in the UFC would require a completely different skill set and a well-rounded approach to the sport. In conclusion, as Andrew takes his career into kickboxing, it has been a testament to his incredible striking skills and knockout power, and the potential success of him in the UFC. Still, it is indeed difficult to say how Andrew Tate would fare in today's MMA. He's a skilled kickboxer, but MMA is a much more competitive martial art that includes striking, grappling, and ground fighting. Tate would need to develop his grappling and ground fighting skills if he wanted to be successful in MMA. It depends on one critical factor: dedication, and we have never seen anyone dedicate themselves to something completely and fail.
As Chowton comes forward,
big right hook.
and that's who's screaming at him to take charge, but it's easier said than done.
If Andrew dedicated himself to the rigorous training and discipline necessary to develop his running game, improve his grappling skills, and adapt to the multifaceted challenges of mixed martial arts, then there's no denying that he could have a solid career in the UFC. He has a track record of success in various ventures throughout his life, demonstrating his unwavering commitment to drive and excel. If he applied the same dedication to his journey in the MMA, the results could be remarkable. So, let's end this thought with enough dedication, perseverance, and willingness to learn. However, Tate is a talented athlete and a dedicated martial artist. If he were to put in the time and effort to learn MMA, he could be a force to be reckoned with. He has the potential to be a top-level fighter, but it would be a challenge. Here are some of the factors that may affect Andrew Tate's chances of success in the MMA. His age. Tate is 35 years old, which is considered to be on the older side for a professional MMA fighter. However, many successful MMA fighters are over 35 years old.
Combinations from Tate really starting to take the toll on Rocher.
Good knee.
He's really hurt.
His size. He's 6'2", 190 centimeters tall, and weighs around 190 pounds or 90 kilograms. This is a good size for an MMA fighter, but he would be at a size disadvantage against some of the bigger fighters in the UFC. His fighting style. Tate is an aggressive kickboxer. This style would be effective in MMA, but he would need to develop his grappling and ground fighting skills if he wanted to be successful. His mental toughness. Tate is a very mentally tough fighter. This is an important quality for any MMA fighter, but it would be especially important for Tate given his age and size. Few things that people always overlook about this man. He is a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. This would be an important asset in MMA, as it would give him the skills to defend against takedowns and submissions. He's also a former professional boxer. This would give him experience with striking, which is another important aspect of MMA.
Great athletes.
Brilliant, amazing fighters. What a round. This has been a great shot from Sat. He dives in again. Tate takes that well.
Tate is a very intelligent fighter. He's known for his ability to analyze his opponents and develop strategies to defeat them. He's also a very confident fighter. This would be an important mental attribute for him to have in MMA, as it would help him stay calm under pressure. In the end, Andrew Tate has the potential to become a successful MMA fighter. He has the skills, the experience, and the intelligence to compete at the highest level. However, it would be a challenge for him to make the transition from kickboxing to MMA. He would need to develop his grappling and ground fighting skills, and he would need to learn how to deal with the different rule sets of MMA. If he is willing to put in the time and effort, which he would be, Andrew Tate would become a dominant force in today's UFC. That's all there is to know on if Andrew Tate would be able to succeed in today's MMA. If you're new here or haven't done it yet, don't forget to press the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell to get notified when we upload a new video. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more interesting discussions in our next video.